All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Monday edition of Ausec Unfiltered. I'm very excited to get streaming today, but I found out that apparently TikTok has issued a temporary ban on my platform. So my apologies, any TikTok users, if you're having to go to another platform. Maybe you'll find you enjoy it more there. I'm not a big TikTok fan. My girlfriend might tell you different, but nothing but problems with that platform. But that being said, we're going to get it started off strong this week. We've got a few things. So let's see. Apparently, Colbert has been canceled, which I wasn't aware of. I used to like Colbert, but now he has become extremely left-wing. I don't know. I never see eye to eye with the guy. I think he's funny, or at least he used to be. But I'm curious. I hadn't heard anything about that. We got a couple of true crime things. We got a critical drinker episode. So anyway, glad to have you with me. Let's go ahead and buckle in and let's get started. All right, so the first one, Colbert. Let's see what Nerdrotic has to say about that.
Let's talk about Colbert. Let's start with Colbert.
Oh,
The vaccine salesman.
so exciting.
Yes. Sponsored by Pfizer.
He absolutely destroyed a legacy, and
Yes, he did.
he's coping so hard about it.
Oh, big time.
It's not me that's getting fired.
Oh,
the whole
luckily
thing's going.
Oh, it's you guys. It's not me.
So you
You know, first of all, I didn't realize this was going to be a live stream with all of them, so that'll be cool. I'll get to see how Nerdrotic does it. But that being said, you know, it's, what can I say? The way of the country, right? Here we are. Things were different 2020, 2021, 2022. But here we are 2025, and it's, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these people are starting to pay for some of the stuff they were saying in years prior. And here's the thing. I think many people could say, you know, let's give them a pass. You know, they said something of what they believed was right back in those days. And to an extent, I would agree with it, except a lot of these people, including Colbert, some of the stuff that they said was very, man, you know, if you didn't agree with them, you were a terrible human being. And when you project that onto everyone out there, of course they're not going to give you a pass on it. I don't know. I think of Joy Reid. In fact, that would have been a good one. Maybe we'll watch that a little bit later when I can get that pulled up. But I saw Joy Reid. Apparently, you know, her show has been canceled. And people, you know, they decided to say, why is that? Why did that happen? Well, because her content sucked. And she was not living in the real world with the rest of us. So
failed so spectacularly, you got everybody else fired and a show that's been around forever canceled forever. Well done, sir. Well done, you piece of crap. I just remember when he was during COVID, he was at some party in Martha's Vineyard with Obama, and they were all dancing. Yeah, and you're like, how do we expect anybody to be objective when he's like partying with the Obamas? And you take
Does
the
he
legacy-
like cock?
Yes.
Well,
The answer is yes.
I mean,
included.
you know, he's an entertainer.
valid question. I don't know.
You know, but you know, what nobody like expected. Like, he wasn't great to begin with. I thought he was incredibly overrated, and he did a character on Comedy Central, and should have been Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson should have taken over.
Right.
You know, I think, didn't Colbert start on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart back in the 90s? I'm fairly certain, and I seem to remember he was pretty good back then.
David Letterman, it'd
What
still
happened?
be going today. It would have better ratings. His ratings, and he had the best ratings of them all. They cratered, and they were somewhere around 2 million at this point. And I think I saw, I think it was Razor who talked about it. The 18 to 49 demographic was 200,000. So my conspiratorial mind and many of the Democrats are like, that's political. I can certainly see Skydance, who needs to merge with Paramount, who just got sued by Donald Trump and had to settle, maybe offering up.
Dude, it's a little hard to criticize people for saying something's political anymore when you constantly make it political. I mean, look, man, if you're going to shove it down my throat that my politics suck and yours are better, then at the end of the day, when it comes down to our decision as viewers not to watch you, and they say, "Oh, it's political. That's the reason." Well, no shit, because that's last time I checked. You're the one that opened that can of worms.
A little extra sauce in their deal. Going, yeah, it wouldn't be right for an administration to ask for this, but I wouldn't be surprised if, hey, this show's costing us however 15, 20 million just in his salary. Why don't we just get rid of this to sweeten the deal a little bit? That's where my conspiratorial, and I'm fucking fine with it because the world is a better place without this show in the air. And tell me if you could tell the difference between this or Kimmel or anybody. They all sound
Move the chat a little bit
now.
for you.
It's all propaganda.
And the thing is, by calling the cancellation political, they're admitting that the show is political to begin with.
Yes.
There you go.
And so if they're getting rid of it, it more means that it's not worth it anymore. So it's not working. So they want to try something.
You know, I think another thing that this kind of relates to, Rachel Zegler, we all know her, we all can't stand her, and it doesn't matter really what side of the aisle you fall on, she has pissed someone off on that side of the aisle at one point in time. When Snow White came out, I mean, if I recall correctly, her movie is rated the lowest on IMDb of any other movie out there. And people got on and they said, "Oh, this is bullshit, it's political." Well, why was it political? Why were people pissed at her? You know, why did Disney have these issues? Because she couldn't shut the fuck up. Pardon my French. And here we go. You know, she wants to bring politics into it, and then she's pissed off when the pendulum swings the other direction, and people review bomb Snow White. And I mean, I know that they review bombed it because I was one of the ones that did it. So, whoops. Sorry, Rachel.
Something else to replace whatever this use was for them.
Well, let's just go back down memory lane. Just for a second. Just for a second.
Oh, the vaccine.
Vaccine.
This is what he'll be remembered for.
Yes, forever.
This was the moment.
The people that watch this can't remember it.
Wow.
This did not age well.
Oh, the trans guy on the far left.
Oh, dude, this is a minute and a half.
Trump
feels
guys
like
are always on the far left, Odin.
Okay,
I think he should have been in that.
What the hell
Dude,
am I
this is the
watching
kind
right
of
now?
shit- This is the kind of
No
shit you
more
would see in a movie about a dystopian future.
Yes.
Yes.
Like that's what you would
We
see.
are.
At least the Jimmy Fallon vaccine song they did for Christmas was at least kind of clever and funny. You know what I mean? As opposed to that. The
I
thing
think
is,
that thing has given people more sicknesses than the.
Yeah.
regardless of people claiming, "Oh, well, Trump got him fired," but regardless of any of that, it is political. The reason why this is happening.
Yes,
because
Yeah.
for the past decade, this show, as well as Jimmy Kimmel and all these other late night shows, which used to be decades ago, back when Gary was little, right? A long ass fucking time ago. It used to just be
I was in
about
my
an
20s.
hour of entertainment and laughing, poking fun at kind of everything, interviewing celebrities from a variety of like different backgrounds and all of this stuff. And it was just supposed to entertain you. Like take a load off, sit there at 11:35 at night,
Dude, David
and watch some
Letterman-
random shit.
David
to get
Letterman
away
would do
from the
like
rest of the world.
Velcro night.
Made it political and didn't like people calling her out. Boy, isn't that right? Yeah, that's Rachel Zegler for you. I don't know. I mean, obviously here we're talking about Stephen Colbert. But I got to tell you, I love dogging on her just because, man, you can just see the trajectory of an up-and-coming star. You going like this, and then, boom, just crash and burn. And now no one's going to touch her because she did the cardinal sin. And that was here, she's not speaking on, I mean, she did a lot of speaking on X and things like that. But she was going, when she was supposed to be advertising stuff for Disney and spitting out her political ideology, right? No one really gives a shit when you do it, but it does affect the sales of the movie. But in her case, she was kind of throwing the movie under the bus. And I don't know how she's ever going to get a job again. I'm sure we'll see her in like B movies or something like that. Or who knows, maybe she'll pull a Robert Downey Jr. and she'll resurrect whatever remnants of her career into something magical. But before this whole Snow White fiasco, I saw her on The Hunger Games, and I thought she had a beautiful voice. And then I realized recently she was in the second Shazam, which was not as strong as the first, but I still really enjoyed it.
And have a dude in a Velcro suit jump at a Velcro wall. Like, that's what we were watching.
Remember
And it was
that.
great.
Letterman used to
sandwich
just,
shop
like,
thing he did.
throw fucking watermelons off a trampoline, like,
Yeah,
whatever the fuck,
yeah.
right? It has become all the same exact thing, and it's only appealing to around half of your potential audience. And that's all it is. So they've seen their ratings crater.
Man, that's not true. I don't think that's true at all. First of all, potential audience signifies that they would fall into a certain demographic that would watch it, right? And I can guarantee whatever that demographic is, it's probably not 50-50. And I think these, these late night talk shows, man, correct me if I'm wrong. If you like it, you love it, man, good for you. They've been gone, in my opinion, since David Letterman. I mean, I don't watch any of this crap anymore, but I used to like it back in the day.
And in fact, not all late night shows TV ratings have cratered.
They haven't.
Greg Gutfeld on Fox News, a cable network, which obviously provides an alternative to some of this stuff, they have soared in the ratings while these guys have fucking floundered.
True. Somebody on this panel has been on that show.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Got a little edited, but, that's the way it goes.
A little bit.
They may have taken some jokes out.
What
Donald Trump has been sworn in as president of the United States. I know. Listen. We're just as confused as you are. Joe Biden did it. I sat down and just started crying with relief. And Evie said, you never have to talk about him again.
You sit down to pee.
And then I cried with joy.
Hilarious.
After a bizarre and vicious campaign fueled by a desperate need not to go to jail, Donald Trump has won the 2024 election.
Oh, Jesus.
Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May.
Donald Trump. That is great storytelling right there. That is great.
Boom.
His right ear is jacked up. You guys see that?
What was that?
All right, the next show that needs the chop is The View. Man, The View needs to go. I mean, I have never seen a show like The View where they are just the stuff that they spew out of their mouth is just so full of hatred and everything, and yet somehow they still exist. I don't know. And they say some of the dumbest shit. Like I think recently, Whoopi was trying to compare, what is it? I want to say it was Iranians or Palestinians and their plight to the plight that normal Americans go to who are black, and how they experience the same set of trauma. And I got to tell you, I don't fall into either one of those demographics, but I think that's a little bit different considering over there, women, they have to be fully clothed. And if they're not, they're sexually assaulted. And that is the norm over there. The government suppresses them and makes sure they don't have women's rights. I mean, that's a whole different thing. And so anyway, they say some really outlandish shit over there.
His right ear really sticks out.
Oh, he's got his little earplug behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's where the demons...
So that's the producers telling him what to say, because just to remind you that he makes $15 to $20 million a year. He has 20 to 21.
The View does need to go. Their new thing is trying to cancel a famous singer over a cover for her new album. Really? Who is that? And what was the cover? I wasn't familiar with that one.
Writers writing these jokes, which is just like, Orange Man sucks. And everybody claps.
Vaccine. And I talked about this yesterday, but there was during COVID.
The stuff they say is insane. Absolutely.
It was him, Kimmel, Fallon, and Seth Meyers, I believe. They started that podcast, remember?
Yep.
Yes. And it was awful. I only saw like the first episode. I didn't watch the whole thing, but there were clips of it. And it showed you how unfunny and unprepared they are when they don't have their studio and their handlers around them.
True.
They had no entertainment value whatsoever.
So Sabrina Carpenter, she's the one that they're trying to cancel over a cover for their new album. And do you know what was on the cover? That they wanted to cancel? Because I'd be curious about that. But either way, I'm not surprised. Man, they'll try to cancel anyone that they don't agree with. It was so hilarious when Arnold Schwarzenegger was on The View and they were asking him about immigration and they thought that he was going to, kind of side with them. And at the end, he says he loves immigrants and he loves in America, but you got to do it the right way, called legal immigration. And they tried to stop him, and he wouldn't stop talking.
Whatsoever, they were lost. They didn't know what to say. It was bad. It was very, very bad. And it just shows you that they're just a product of this massive group of writers, studio equipment, producers that are making them. They're just a piece to the puzzle is all they are.
Yeah, they're just talking heads.
At least they probably had their intro actually on screen.
Maybe. But no, they also, I love when they all went in their laundry rooms trying to look humble.
Oh,
and
yeah.
John Oliver was
so
so out of line. He was like, his head was at the bottom of the screen, and it was good times. I got a lot of mileage out of that clip. I got a lot of mileage.
How do I use this?
Right.
Well, really showed that the thing of value that they bring to their career is not their actual wit, their ability to speak. It's doing what they're told, and that they'll just parrot whatever they're fed, and that gets them, promoted. And
very true.
Yeah, they're just talking heads. That's all there is.
Well,
they're just being fed what to say.
Ron Burgundy, but it's not as funny.
Yeah.
A lot of times the jokes are just like a news headline and then a laugh, because it's not to tell you it's to tell you how to feel about a thing. So everything is a statement touched by an emotion. You see this in debates a lot of time. They will just repeat what the last person said in a really kind of sarcastic tone, just to imply that it's not a correct thing that you should be following.
Well, and I think where all this became a problem was when it became so one-sided. It's one thing. Hey, comedians should be poking fun at everyone. That is exactly their job. And that goes back to the days of the court jester who would come in and just start making fun of everyone up to the king, right? Here we have comedians. Their job is to come in, poke fun at the fabric of reality and everything we know to be true. And that's what's entertaining about it. The problem is we have people like Stephen Colbert where they say something, but it only goes one direction. I didn't hear him talking crap about Donald Trump and then turning it around and making fun of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right? It was always one direction. That is the problem. And that is why they lost ratings. And that's why ultimately they're out of a job.
We're never really logical in anything they did.
So what happened during everybody followed Colbert's lead. That's basically what happened. He started getting like really good ratings. Remember CNN during Trump's first presidency was getting great ratings, just talking about Trump. Everybody followed that, and what they didn't think about, and they never really do, is your legacy, like the future, and how much of your audience you're burning right now by going after, because whether you like it, and they didn't, by the way, if you stuck on policy, that's one thing, but they started attacking and going after Trump's.
Damn, that dude has a lot of action figures in his background. This guy is like the go-to guy. I love comics, and I have since I was a kid, and I have a lot of knowledge on, the background of a lot of characters, things. This dude beats me by like 1,000%.
Supporters, which is half the country. And then you start burning your legacy. And then, once that thing is over, you're fucking done. And this is something that late night before, like David Letterman is not MAGA. He'd get political once in a while, especially towards the end. I doubt Johnny Carson was. Don't know about Jay Leno. Craig Ferguson, no fucking idea. I don't think he's putting on a MAGA hat either, but you wouldn't know because they cared about longevity, their legacy, and the entire audience, no matter what.
It's true.
And that is ultimately their failure. Like late night should have been done a long time ago. It's been on it's been in hospice for
Well, and I think that he's right. Late night is done. Who watches it regularly anymore unless you're in your 60s or I mean, I don't know what the demographic is, but I think it's changed. And now you want to know what late night is? It's this right here, right? It's streamers that get on Twitch or Kick or whatever, YouTube, and they go and they react to this shit and political commentary. This is your late night. This is what people are looking at now. For kids and young adults, this is where they're getting their information from. So that is like the way of the dinosaur.
Their ratings have been trash. And Ryan just pointed out, Greg Gutfeld on fucking Fox News is trouncing them, destroying them, and will continue to do so.
And the other thing, too, about Ferguson is that he was very much a libertarian. It was for personal liberties and freedoms. So unlike a lot of these talking heads.
It came on late at night and still did good numbers.
They understood that late night was for America, everybody. It was for every viewer.
Now it's late
Absolutely
night.
True.
What's funny, Garrett, is it's late night for Manhattan and L.A., But all the people they don't watch it either. That's the problem. They don't watch that shit.
No, it's late night for no one.
It's late night for them. That's all it is. It's like most writers' rooms. It's just them. They're the center of their own universe. They're the most important things ever. They're the only ones who can understand, get this. They are the oracles who must preach to the little people. So it is. It's like with most films today, TV today, it's an audience of themselves. That's their audience.
Well, and who are we to believe someone that does entertainment for a living, right? I mean, here I am. Essentially, I'm an entertainer. You don't have to believe a damn thing that I say. But at the same time, I look at people like these late night entertainers and, you know, actors and actresses and things like that. What have they done that makes them the expert on political issues across the world? Like, I get really confused by that sometimes. Why are we listening when someone says that America should be doing something differently? And you sit back, and if you ever ask them why, they get tripped up, you know, because they have no clue why. They just spit out these sound bites. But who the hell are they? You know what I mean? I would rather talk to one of my friends that has lived in the real world and has an honest take of how politics is affecting them, and I can believe it more with them than some, you know, Hollywood asshole that makes millions of dollars, and then they're going to tell me how I need to react. Come on.
So
I think they're being bought by Paramount. CBS is being acquired.
No. Paramount is owned by CBS is owned by Paramount, and Skydance, which is oh fuck, some tech. I can forget what's his name, Brian. The tech CEO's kid is buying it, and everybody's thinking that he's going to come in and he's based. Well, they're currently fucking over South Park, and they gave us a JJ Trek. So I'm not going to say here comes the fucking savior. Yes, they also did some pretty good Mission Impossible movies. So I think it's Hollywood. I wouldn't expect somebody to come in and say, but here is the fucking cake. You're right, Ryan. I watched Johnny Carson as a kid all the time. I watched David Letterman when that was the only
there
two.
we go.
This is the master right here.
People say, he'll never take a serious controversy. Well, I have an answer to that. I said, now, tell me the last time that Jack Benny, Red Skelton, any comedian, used his show to do serious issues. That's not what I'm there for. Can't they see that? But you're not. Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues? That's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And, you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people. And I don't think you should as an entertainer.
Perfectly said.
Great point. Great point.
Perfectly said.
R.I.P.
And yet here I am trying to talk politics with you guys. Maybe I need to shut the fuck up.
To go.
Yep. And the
It's
other
probably
thing,
transphobic, in all fairness. Let's just
well, he would belong on Friday Night Tights then. So and then another element of this is that ultimately it's YouTube that has killed all of these losers on late night TV too. Like,
True.
you know, and you just, that's where people are. That's where they're getting their
YouTube, especially Mugshot with Chris Ausec podcast. Right now, YouTube. Go take a look. It's that self-promotion.
Entertainment from. That's why it's taken away from Hollywood. It's taken away from the corporate media, YouTube. And it's not like one YouTuber or two. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of people having thousands of viewers or hundreds of viewers that are taking away from all of that. And that's where it's all about authenticity. And these guys are the most inauthentic people you'll find, these late night hosts. Because a lot of them are just part of, like, you know, was the thing about CNN where, you know, if CNN wouldn't have any ratings if they weren't at airports, you know, so
Right.
a lot of it's just default viewing just because.
It's a good
I
point.
think you're right. Like I want to quickly, just real quick. The reason Gutfeld works is because he doesn't pretend to be something else. Correct. He doesn't pretend to be, I'm an impartial whatever, and then I'm going to go in.
I think it's so funny with the different news sources, which ones are considered like viable and honest. Back in 2015, 2016 era when I was a cop, I used to watch and listen to CNN. And that's because I viewed Fox News as to the right, MSNBC, ABC, all of that. I was viewed that as the left. I thought CNN was more fact-based. And I'm sure everyone is thinking, boy, Chris, you're such a dumbass. But back then, it seemed to be true. But look at how far they've fallen, right? And now, whenever there's a joke about CNN, it's always about their dishonesty and how you can't trust what they're saying, and they try to hide facts and things like that. Man, falling pretty far.
Like, yeah, we're on a conservative network. We do conservative things. And here's a bunch of funny jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why that show is successful. If these shows were wanted to be successul, just
say you're liberal.
What they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say what they fucking are. And then
I liked Red Eye back in the day better than some of the other late night shows. The thing, Jeremy, you make a great point. However, it's just like all of the entertainment industry, right? Everything's being affected by streaming, people cutting the cable cord.
Can I just say, how in the hell did they get the Lord of the Rings background behind this podcast? I don't know which program they're using, but that is flipping awesome.
Like all the options that people can have. However, when you tell half of your audience to fuck off every single night, that's a big problem.
Yep,
so while you're
they
already
go and
dealing
fuck
with
off.
a shifting entertainment industry, you cut yourself off at the knee. And that's what they've done, in addition to so many other people in the entertainment industry.
Agreed.
But they're not going to vanish off into the ether because they won't want to lose such an important kind of messaging platform. They will just move where the industry has. Like Bill Maher's already got his own kind of YouTube channel and talk.
I think you have to be careful, though. You don't want to advertise for everyone, right? If you make something for everyone, you make something for no one. And so you need to know who your audience is, and if they like whatever. Like, I think that these people kind of said, we are left wing, we are supporting these ideals. That's going to be our audience. And guess what? That was most likely their audience. But that's also not the majority, right? So maybe they chose poorly.
Show. You see a lot of people in Hollywood now are getting their own kind of talk shows, and you will see this kind of reform just in a different way until they find something that works.
It's the same problem with a lot of different industries. Is they failed years ago. Like when kids were younger, like we all grew up with late night. It wasn't like we grew up with Johnny Carson, not all of us, but we knew it was around and we watched it.
When I was fucking poor and
that guy's name was 1/4 Black Garrett. I would really like to. He's got to be a podcaster or something like that.
Didn't have cable for a while. I watched Jay Leno, and then I switched over to the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. That's what I did.
So they missed the generational.
Craig was great.
They missed the generational gap there. They completely just continued on with the same old shtick, along with all the other things we've been talking about, being lying pieces of shit, being propagandist, being biased. Along with that, they forgot the next generation and didn't even try to capture them. So now they're gone.
They're gone with. There's a couple things we need to get. There's so many clips on this Colbert thing. I find the one where he's bitching about Trump, the Trump settlement, and then I wanted to play it right next. And listen, I don't think Trump told him to get fired. Like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if Skydance saw that as an opportunity to get fucking rid of him because they're costing him a bunch of money.
If Trump wanted him fired, he would just fucking tweet it.
He would. Absolutely. Fire this man.
That's true.
He's terrible.
It's not like he's behind the scenes going, let me work this so no one knows what I'm doing.
But I have to make...
Bro, these entertainment companies, they love Trump. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say about Trump. But here's the thing, like these entertainment companies, they get so much content after the things that are out of the things that Trump says and does. And so they love him. There's a reason there was a dry spell when Biden took office. But then again, maybe they poked at him a little bit. But Trump, he was the one that they loved.
It's clear that I don't think Trump had him fired. I think Skydance maybe this will sweeten the deal because their merger has been fucking held up for months, damn near a year at this point.
Yeah. But it's just like Trump just tweeted out he's going to take Rosie O'Donnell's fucking
citizenship away. That's the thing. If it's like, whoa, he got fired over that Trump joke. There's been fucking 10 years worth of them. It's like,
dude. Yeah. No, he got fired because he got too political. It's his own goddamn fault. and new ownership is coming in. They're looking to slash all kind. Dude,
they didn't just fire him. They are ending a show that's been on air for like
ending the show
50 years or whatever.
No, and this is also a Skydance that like doesn't want to pay South Park, doesn't want to honor the fucking deal that they had before, and is trying to cut it in half. So they're trying to cut money all over the place. This is an easy way to get rid of it.
But you will never take our dignity. You may, however, purchase our dignity for the low, low price of $16 million. We need the cash.
I wonder why he got fired.
Yeah.
That's a big question mark.
The best jokes always have a paragraph punchline.
I know, right?
If you want to pretend like Trump got him fired or whatever, isn't it way more likely that maybe the bosses didn't appreciate the shots at their company on this show that's airing on their broadcast waves? Like, isn't that more likely
while they're trying to sell it to Skydance, Ryan, while they're in the middle of a merger?
The irony being, he didn't write a single fucking one of these.
No. No.
Now, I believe this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's big fat bribe. Paramount's
just
owners
accused the owners of bribing. The fucking air. I wonder what.
I would love to know what he feels like off, away from the camera. I think a lot of these people that do this, they have a job and they want to follow it through. And I mean, he's not writing his own jokes. He's got his own team for that. So he's up there, he's saying what's on the script. But if I was to sit him down and say, we're away from cameras, no one else is watching, just say, yo, what do you really believe in? I bet it would be a lot different than some of the stuff he pushes out on that show or pushed out.
When pull that clip up, when the audience boos, I wonder if they were prompted to boo.
Of course.
Always
fine. Boo Trump.
There's either a sign or there's a person literally there whose job it is to get the audience to react away.
Got a shotgun.
Stage manager.
I remember once upon a time, these things used to be like comedic monologues to entertain. This is just flat propaganda, biased news reporting, laced with really bad jokes. That's all it's become.
Well, because it's what perked him up when he first took over. The ratings were terrible, and then he started to go political before the election, and it bounced him up a little bit, and he just never went back.
Well, they hired him from a political show.
From a political show where he was doing his Bill Riley impression.
Yeah, he did a character. He's never hosted a show by himself. He was just coasting off Jon Stewart's farts, and they were like, well, people like Jon Stewart, so let's give this guy. And
I knew I was right about Jon Stewart.
He had this job for 10 years. It's way longer than he should have.
Yep. So he basically says, my show is ending and I'm not being replaced. They're actually getting rid of the entire show, which I'm sure you've all seen. And the audience goes, oh no. He sounds pretty bit. He's like, I wish somebody else was taking over. And then Jimmy Kimmel got mad and said, fuck those guys.
He's next.
Well, he is. Remember, he was next. Jeremy, remember he was talking not too long ago about retiring. Right? Yeah. So,
and let's see. Okay. So Stephen Colbert started on the Comedy Channel with Jon Stewart. Jimmy Kimmel started on the Comedy Channel on The Man Show. I'm sensing a trend. That's where they're getting a lot of these late night stand-ups
he sees
or
the end
late
coming.
night
So Jimmy Kimmel sends
talk
love
show
to
hosts.
Stephen Colbert. Blast CBS over the late night axing. Who cares? Fuck.
By the way, The Man Show, awesome show. If you can find clips of it. They used to do this thing at the end of every show, which is not appropriate now, I guess, but it was, they'd end every show by drinking a beer, and then they'd have girls jumping on trampolines. It was good for a kid who grew up in the 90s.
I like how love to Stephen Colbert is an Instagram story that says, fuck CBS.
They didn't even link it in the article.
It's glorious to watch all these mainstream outlets get destroyed. And on that note, I know it's not like it's kind of relevant to because we're talking about lawsuits, but Trump just officially filed his lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, Dow Jones, and Rupert Murdoch for the Wall Street Journal
Dow
story.
Jones.
Yeah,
Dow
Jones.
And Arby's. He's suing Arby's too.
Everything you own, I'm gonna sue.
So Chrissy shared this article where the WGA's mad. And they should be, because Stephen Colbert employs like 10% of the WGA with all of his writers. Writers Guild of America demands investigation into Stephen Colbert's late night cancellation, has significant concerns about bribery. And that's what Chrissy said. There's your magic word that the Democrats have put out there. The DNC has put out there that will get repeated and repeated about bribery at Paramount. A settlement is not bribery, you fucking retards. And Donald Trump had a lawsuit, and it would have taken years to work out during a merger. They got out easy with $16 million.
It's just amazing how one word can completely change the whole sentence and change it from legitimate to nefarious with just one word.
Easy. The WGA, mind you, is the ones, who could forget that they went on strike at the worst time possible. And what came to fruition was now there's fewer writers making a little bit more money. Well done. Well done, union, you fucking commies.
Way more AI writers.
Yeah. And remember, they didn't want to get rid of AI. They wanted to control it. They wanted to control it. The Writers Guild of America called for Paramount to be investigated for bribery by the New York State. Fucking New York. Goddamn New York. State Attorney General following Thursday's announcement that The Late Show with Stephen Colbert has been canceled. In the state.
So sad.
Sorry, I'm following the prompts on screen.
No. So we're going to waste. Isn't it so democratic to waste taxpayer money on a show being canceled from a private company? Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Wouldn't it be perfectly legal, though, if you did have part as a settlement, we'll give you this much money and cancel this show?
Yes.
Surely that's not illegal to do anyway.
Because it's not supposed to be a political show. We could talk about, NPR getting defunded, which is great. But,
finally.
I mean, isn't that why Tucker got the boot? Is because Fox had to pay out the nose?
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody was complaining about that.
Nope.
Nobody
Very
was complaining
interesting.
about that. But this is supposed to be an entertainment show, so clearly the Democratic Party feels like they've lost one of their tools.
Yeah, just to make sure that people understand bribery, that's going to be someone that's going to be some sort of government official or something like that. Someone that is overseeing something, and you bribe them to, do something that's in their best interest or the best interest of the person that's bribing it. But usually that's going to fall under bribing a police officer, bribing a government official, bribing the president of the United States. When it's, a business like this, I mean, absolutely, that's not going to be bribery.
They have. And despite 2 million people watching it a night, what was getting probably a lot more attention was clips. Clips on YouTube, clips on Twitter. In the statement, the Commie Labor Union says it has significant concerns that the move may have been intended to bribe President Trump into sanctioning Paramount's pending acquisition by Skydance. Colbert is a frequent critic of Trump, having to refer to Paramount's recent $16 million settlement with the president as a big fat bribe only 3 days before the cancellation. And the WG noted that the company could be sacrificing free speech. Oh, they care about free speech, everybody else. They care about free speech.
Sure.
They only care about their free speech, nobody else's.
Yeah. Where were we all during COVID?
Yeah, exactly.
There's only one type of free speech.
Of course.
Propaganda is included in that, right?
Yes.
Well,
absolutely.
it's their free speech.
Right.
Yes, their free speech is okay. Where were they being COVID, Odin? They were kneeling.
Yep.
They were kneeling.
Dancing. They were dancing.
They were dancing with fucking hypodermic needles.
Did Kimmel say the unjabbed deserve to not go to ERs?
Now they care about free speech. Yeah, it's funny how it kind of turned around. Yeah. It's times they are a-changing, and now you can finally get back to a little bit of free speech, but you have these people, and when it's happening to them, it's, oh, man, they're cracking down on free speech. Meanwhile, if you didn't agree with them this whole time, you were silenced, and if you spoke up, you were canceled or worse.
Yes, he did.
There was a lot of that, yeah.
Sacrificing free speech because is anybody going to miss Colbert?
Nope.
No. In favor of the Trump administration, CBS, for its part, said The Late Show was canceled as purely a financial decision. That was not related to any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount.
But if they got more views, then they would have made more money, and then it would have been financial.
How was this show's performance not related to a financial decision?
You know what? It's corporate speak, Disparu.
You're trying to sugarcoat it.
It's corporate speak.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Naomi. They can cancel it whenever the fuck they want to. And if you go
There you
out
go.
you're calling out your bosses, especially during a fucking merger, I can imagine they were not fucking happy at all. And now he's gone. And you can run all the investigations and waste all of New Yorkers' money as you want, or our money. It's actually really our money. It's not going to change anything. He'll probably go to MSNBC or some shit like that. The WGA called Trump's 60 Minutes lawsuit, which prompted the settlement, baseless, and lamented that Paramount's decision comes against a backdrop of relentless attacks on free speech. God, reading this.
Come on.
Come on.
I want to throw something at the screen right now. I really
Is this
do.
read it and keep a straight face? You win a
Not
prize.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
No.
Oh.
No.
I love how they're changing free speech to mean you must give me $20 million a year to present this show.
Yeah, what the
Forced jobs means free speech.
It's not free speech. It's our speech, which is the communist version of it.
Well, because these unions are like, it's like the mafia.
Yes.
They're upset. Like, well, we had our guaranteed job.
I respect the unions when they were more mafia and less commie. I somewhat respect. I'm not a big fan either way.
On the waterfront days, right?
Yeah. Go back to the.
They were American back then, at least.
We need coked up Hollywood and mafia unions again. We need to go back.
Is that why it was
There you go.
earlier?
Yeah.
Throwing people off buildings, that stuff.
And game chat where you can say the N word.
Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Like that-
Yes.
that's like-
Yes.
Little Middle Eastern in today's terms,
Clean.
but yes.
President Trump, through lawsuits against CBS and ABC, threatened litigation of media organizations with critical coverage and the unconscionable defunding of PBS and NPR. Oh my God, that just makes me happy. PBS and NPR. What are they going to do with Sesame Street? Make it gay and put it on Netflix or gayer?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's loud.
Jumping out of a building.
It's so hilarious.
That was great. I love that.
God. I love the internet so much. Dude. I really
dude.
do. I love it.
That poor rabbit.
Holy shit.
Maybe he wanted it. It was consensual.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Man, oh man. Got pretty crazy with those guys. I've never seen one of those where he does the podcast with the whole group. Again, I thought this was one of Nerdrotic's regular episodes that he normally puts out. So whatever, it was still pretty cool. It's interesting to see how they all feel about it. Seems like they all felt pretty much the same way. So personally, I am happy that Colbert is gone. And again, I'm looking forward to The View whenever they cancel that show. But the other one, Joy Reid with the readout, I'll have to see. We might go on break a little bit in the near future, and then I'll look that one up. But I don't know, man. It seems like she just sits in her house now and she just cries to the camera about how her show had value. And all she was just a race baiter. I mean, that's it. In the episode that I saw, they had her on Piers Morgan recently. They called her out for it, and she started doing the same race baiting techniques. So I don't know. That was acceptable, I think, in 2020, 2021, but 2025, I think it's going away. So now the next one.
Declassified document.
Okay, so I have no clue what the hell this is. This came out from Tulsi Gabbard's main account on YouTube, and it says, "You deserve to know the truth." It looks as though it relates to some sort of Fox News special, and so we're going to see what they have to say. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I think she's got a heck of a background, and she seems very knowledgeable and legitimate. But again, I mean, sometimes we'll see what we get when we watch this video. Let's take a look.
New declassified documents show the Obama administration manufactured the Russian election interference scandal in 2016. It was essentially a coup. The director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, boy is she brave, reacts next.
Let's see what she has to say.
New revelations into the alleged Russia hoax. A trove of declassified documents revealing evidence that the Obama...
On the one hand, I get so tired of hearing about this stuff going back to 2016, 2017. But on the other hand, this is like really bad that they did all this stuff and it was devious. And of course, hopefully anyone that sees this understands that, yes, you were given misinformation on a daily basis and you have to know how to distill it into what is actually going on. And sometimes that means finding it from multiple sources.
Administration manufactured and politicized intelligence during Trump's 2016 election.
The documents released by the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, described secret meetings after Trump's victory where Obama officials directed the intel community to leak reports that Vladimir Putin was personally involved in the U.S. election hack. This after the intelligence community repeatedly determined that Russia was not trying to influence the election by cyber means.
Here with more is DNI Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, thanks for joining us. And
all right, here she is.
Individuals were literally the leaders of the intelligence community under President Obama. How significant is these documents that you've released?
Thank you so much, and thanks for focusing on this issue that these documents have really brought to the forefront, because it's one that doesn't just affect Democrats or Republicans. It's not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue with such significant impact that it should concern every American, because it has to do with the fabric and integrity of our democratic republic. That we had a situation here where in the months leading up to the 2016 election, the intelligence community assessed, and this is what the documents detail, the intelligence community assessed essentially Russia doesn't have the tools, the capability, or the intent to try to change the outcome of the U.S. presidential election. Donald Trump pulls off a historic victory against Hillary Clinton in November of 2016. Even in the days after that election, the intelligence community continued their consistent assessment that reflected the same thing in the months leading up to the election. All of a sudden, in the early days of December, there was a president's daily brief that was drafted. This is put together by the different elements of the intelligence community that reflected that same assessment. Russia did not try to hack the election, in essence. That PDB, that document, was pulled hours before it was supposed to be published for the president to see that following morning. That document was never published until we released it yesterday. One day later, President Obama calls a meeting of his National Security Council, his top officials, to be held on what they called a sensitive topic. And the results of that meeting, which we released yesterday, and these over 100 documents that talk about in detail how President Obama and his team, he directed a manufactured piece of intelligence that detailed not if, but how Russia tried to influence the outcome of.
God, can you believe that? And I think the sad fact is every single person out there can probably say yes. I mean, I feel like this kind of proves why Donald Trump was elected in 2016. And hear me out on this. People were tired of being lied to. And they're tired of these politicians that get in and they talk a good game, but then they don't follow through, right? And they pull some of this crap and they get threatened. Here comes Donald Trump. Why did he get elected in 2016? Well, because he wasn't a politician. For the first time in how long? He was a dude that came in, former business or current business owner at the time, and he wanted to run for president, and they laughed at it. They were like, you were a joke. You'll never make it. So why did he win? And I think that's the question they really struggled with all throughout his first term. Why did he win? And so they're trying to do everything they could to besmirch him and to talk down to him. Now, let's call out the elephant in the room, right? That being said, Donald Trump, in his first term, he didn't make things very good for himself. And what do I mean by that? He constantly had to take to Twitter and start, talking crap and doing all the stuff that's, I don't know. There were times where even me as a police officer, I would hear him and I'm like, bro, like you probably just should learn when to shut the hell up. But that's one thing. This is actual, they created this intelligence just to go against him and to make it look as though he was corrupt when he had nothing to do with it. And that is insane. And this is Barack Obama and Tulsi Gabbard, as you can see right there on the screen. The director of national intelligence is the one giving us this information. The current director of national intelligence is giving us information that Barack Obama went on this campaign to do this. And I think that's absolutely disgusting.
The United States election that President Trump won in.
It also makes me wonder how often this has happened in the past. What elections have a meeting like this, has that gone on where someone ended up, they could have been president, but something happened. Another president didn't like what they were saying, and so they created this fake intelligence, and boom, before you know it, we have someone that should have never been in there in the first place. They'll do anything to put Trump down. I totally agree with you.
November of 2016. This document.
But see, here's the thing. I love transparency, right? If you were transparent, it shows you have nothing to hide, and I think that's what they're doing during this term. So we have Tulsi Gabbard. She's making this, bringing all of it to light, right? Obviously, we know the Biden administration didn't want to do that. Neither did Barack Obama. But here, under this one, they say, send it on out there. Transparency.
Was then used as the foundation for everything that came next. It was essentially a years-long coup that was launched against President Trump before he even had the opportunity to take his oath of office and be sworn in as President of the United States. So, as you know, there was a Mueller investigation that went on for years, cost taxpayers nearly $40 million. There were 2 congressional impeachments. President Trump and almost every member of his family were smeared and attacked, faced lawsuits, depositions.
Very true.
High-level officials were investigated, some were arrested and put in jail. The list goes on and on about the ramifications of this, but foundational to it.
By the way, in case anyone is curious, and I think if you're watching this show, you probably, I don't need to explain this too much, but that being said, how many times did they go after Trump and they tried to get him for a crime, right? This felony, and he's a criminal. Even Colbert said it in the last piece. But here's the thing. First of all, what crime was actually committed? And that's what they needed to prove or show. And in most cases, there wasn't one. It was just someone was trying to make their career by going after Trump, right? And then the more it happened over and over. This is a key example where he would always say it was a witch hunt. If you are lying to the American public and you don't have evidence to actually charge someone, it looks like, I've heard people call him the Teflon Don, right? Because nothing sticks. But that being said, there was nothing to stick to him in the first place. He didn't do any of that stuff. And all it did was make it, whenever they tried to go after him, he could just say, it's fake news. They just tried to put some bogus charges on me. And then who knows if and when he did something or has done something real, it would just slip in between the cracks because they tried to go after him for so much bogus stuff. You know what I mean? So they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit to where the American public did not believe a lot of these accusations.
All was the fact that we had in President Obama and his leadership team people who did not want to accept the will of the American people in electing Donald Trump in 2016, and therefore cooked up this treasonous conspiracy to, again, try to effectively, and they did effectively, launch a years-long coup against the sitting President of the United States.
Director
So
Gabbard,
crazy.
I'm glad you used the word coup. I also, in some of your reports, the word treason has come up. We're seeing a lot of things coming to light these days, and it's very encouraging for Americans, especially this report, which so many of us knew this was a hoax. But this goes all the way to the top. I mean, this goes all the way to Barack Obama. Will we actually see someone as high up as Barack Obama take responsibility, be accountable, maybe face criminal charges? Is that a possibility here based on the documents that you've released?
Yeah, Rachel, the seriousness of, again, the implications and the consequences of these actions that were taken demand accountability. The American people not only deserve the truth and accountability, when we look at the future of our country as
we'll see if we actually get it,
and the American people's ability to have faith that when they go and cast a vote at the ballot box, that the will of the people will be respected by those in government, whether they be Democrats or Republicans. This is literally what is at stake here. So we are referring all of our documents to the Department of Justice for the purpose of accountability and action. No one, no matter who they are, no matter how high up they are or how powerful they may be, no matter who the intelligence officials or professionals were who were a part of this treasonous conspiracy, there must be accountability. The truth must be shown to the American people in order to ensure that there is this faith and trust and integrity in our democratic republic for the sake of the future of our country.
Man, I think that's great. Those were beautiful words, and we'll see if it actually happens. I don't know, man. Is it just me, or does it seem like people like President Obama there almost seem untouchable, right? Here we have this evidence against him, but what are they going to do? How are they going to hold him accountable? I want to hear facts. I want to hear exactly what is going to be done. Don't just tell me someone is going to take accountability, because I think that that's probably kind of bullshit. What I do think, though, is this is going to affect his legacy. And I think that to any man out there, because I feel that this is probably a very male-dominated way of thinking, but I think legacy is huge for men. You know, what are we leaving on this earth after we pass on? And people in the public eye, like Barack Obama, I think that's probably one of the things they say. What am I going to be remembered for, right? And I kind of feel like this is a great thing to get out there. It'll totally kind of change his legacy to not very good things. But if he did all this, then that's what he kind of deserves. Another thing, and of course, this is just me talking as a cop, when Obama was in office and he was given any underprivileged person a cell phone, they called them Obama phones. I got to tell you, you would not believe the amount of drug trafficking and drug activity that were used by those Obama phones. And essentially what would happen is they would be provided to someone in need, let's say an underprivileged person who may be homeless or whatnot. They get this Obama phone, and that's what they would call it. And then drug dealers would go and just buy them from people. Hey, let me get your Obama phone. I'll give you $25. And then they would use that to commit criminal activity. And I remember arresting a guy one time, a drug dealer, and he had 16 phones in his possession that he was using to run all these drug deals. And I asked what they were, and he said, those are my Obama phones. And that was a pretty regular thing. I don't think there's any way to capture the statistic, obviously, about how much drug activity happened because of those phones, but I'm sure it's very significant.
So as voters, can we feel confident that
no one is going to take accountability? They'll blame it on someone else and cover their ass. Most likely. And the unfortunate part is things always roll downhill. So it's not going to be some presidential level person that ends up getting slammed. It's going to be some person in the intelligence community, like the new guy that came into the office, had nothing to do with it. It's total bullshit.
We will actually see charges, do you think, out of this?
I'm not a lawyer. We're referring all of this to the Department
That means
of Justice. I know that Attorney General Pam Bondi is committed to bringing about justice to those who have broken the law. And in this case, again, what these documents detail, to me, in my view, cannot be explained as anything but a treasonous conspiracy. This is not so different from what we saw under George W. Bush, when we saw that manufactured intelligence claiming there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq that kicked off a war that changed our country, that changed the lives of so many people like myself who went and served in
I wasn't
those
familiar with
wars.
that one.
The implications of manufactured intelligence are real. I would even say that what we are seeing here has an even greater impact than what we've seen in the past, because it speaks again to the foundation of our Constitution and our democratic republic, which is why accountability is so critical.
Amen to that. We can, and by the way, we cannot weaponize our intelligence community against our enemies, our political enemies. That is wrong, and there are huge consequences. Tulsi, thank you for declassifying this. This is amazing information. Some of us never thought it would come out. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tulsi.
Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, I got to tell you, from what the work that I've done with state representatives, these politicians are so corrupt on any side of the aisle. They are in it for themselves. They will lie, cheat, steal, do anything they can to further their own career. And I think we all know that, like, deep down. And again, I just want to circle that back. That is why I believe that Donald Trump got elected in 2016 in the first place. No one trusts the government anymore. And what's so funny is I think back to myself when I was in the Marines, you know, a young 18-year-old, and I was like, oh, man, you know, I believed everything that they put out there, and I was all about it. And but now experience tells me that you really need to pay attention to what the government is talking about and what a lot of these people out for themselves are talking about, because most of it is bullshit dipped in some sort of false truth. And some people take the bait, hook, line, and sinker. And then, you know, they realize that they were deceived. I wonder how many people actually bought this Russia hoax when it came out and how they feel now. They probably don't care, but at the same time, they should be the ones that are the most upset because they were lied to and they believed it. Yep. It's a wild country we live in. You can't handle the... All right, so the next one we're going to look at, Critical Drinker. Critical Drinker is one of my favorites. I love this guy. He does really great stuff when it comes to movies and video games, and I think he gives pretty honest reviews. If it sucks, he calls it what it is, you know, a complete pile of dog shit. But if he likes it or loves it, man, he will tell you that too. So the one that we're looking today, why modern movies suck, they're completely forgettable. And already I can tell that I'm going to agree with everything he has to say in this.
You can't handle the truth. I'll be back. You're going to need a bigger boat. May the force be with you.
Hey, by the way, man, I might slaughter this. Odham Baral just followed. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching.
Offer he can't refuse. Go ahead, make my day. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Yo, Adrian, I did it. Now, when I read out those quotes, I made a point of not imitating the accents or the intonations, and I gave you no visual clues whatsoever to help you out. They came from a wide range of different movies from different genres, different decades and styles, so there's no common thread to pick up on that might help you out. But does any of that matter? Nope, because I'll bet that pretty much every one of you could name not just the movie they came from, but also the actors who said them, and probably picture the exact scene in your heads.
Hell yes,
Let's try
we
another
could.
one, shall we? Luke Skywalker, Captain Kirk, James Bond, Sarah Connor, Sherlock Holmes, Rocky Balboa, Bruce Wayne, Marty McFly, Indiana Jones, Forrest Gump, Hannibal Lecter. The moment I say those names, it instantly conjures up an image of that person in your mind, the actor that played them,
Absolutely.
the most iconic moments they took part in, and even the emotions that the character inspires. That right there, my friends, is the power of...
I was talking with my girlfriend about this the other day, how, you know, there's certain videos, especially going up, or videos, movies, you know, it's just my generation coming out right there. Before 2020, man, there were some great movies, right? All up and down. Now, I'm a 80s kid, and so 80s and 90s love those movies. And I saw a preview of The Toxic Avenger the other day from the 80s, and it just looks campy and everything. And yet you just wanted to watch it because it's everything that today's movies are not. And then 2020 came around, and now everything is so monotone. You know, nothing is enjoyable. You get preached at. The action sucks because they have to, you know, change every little thing or race swap people. And it's like, this is just absolute garbage.
The cultural footprint. It's the ability of films to transcend the medium they started in and become a living, breathing part of our culture.
Damn, what the hell? Was that Magneto?
Inspires. That right there, my friends, is the power of the cultural footprint. It's the ability of films to transcend the medium
Holy
they started
shit,
in and
he
become
looked
a
young
living,
there.
breathing part of our culture, referenced and quoted and thought about by generation after generation. Here's the problem though. Not a single one of them was created in the past 20 years.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's kind of worrying, isn't it? And before you start accusing me of cherry-picking my examples just to prove a point, I can tell you that I looked up 6 different lists of the 100 best movie quotes of all time for this video, read every single one from start to finish, and not a single one belonged to a movie made after 2005.
Really?
Look up any list
Holy
of iconic
crap.
movie characters, and I can pretty much guarantee they'll all be from 2010 or earlier, and even if they do exist in newer movies like the Marvel or DC universes, the characters themselves will have been created decades earlier in books, comics, or TV shows. What you're seeing today is just another iteration of something that was invented generations ago. Just another meal made by someone else, reheated in the cultural microwave. One of the saddest emails I ever read was from a young subscriber of mine complaining that their generation doesn't really have anything to call their own. No unique cultural touchstone they can point to and say, see that? That was ours. That was our Star Wars, our Lord of the Rings, our rock and roll. Everything they see and watch and listen to now is either a continuation of some old franchise or a remake of something that came out dead.
I don't know. Can we say that they can call pronouns their own? Because I think that was kind of a byproduct that didn't really exist back in these days, but now that's a big thing. They can call that their own.
Decades ago. And all of this got me thinking, wow, we're living in a bit of a cultural wasteland these days, aren't we? We're not really creating much of anything new or memorable anymore. We're just rehashing stuff that's already been done before, making copies of copies that gradually degenerate into mediocrity and failure. I mean, just take a look at the 3 big movies in theaters this month. Jurassic World, the 7th movie in the Jurassic Park franchise. Fantastic Four, the 3rd movie version of these characters in the past 20 years, based on a comic from 60 years ago. And Superman, the 3rd iteration in the past 20 years, not counting TV shows and video games of course, based on a comic from 80 years ago. I mean, don't get me wrong, they make money, that's for sure. Well, maybe not.
Did anyone like that Superman movie? If you're out there and you liked it, let me know. I was not impressed, but the dog Crypto I thought was awesome. Take away Superman, this iteration of Superman, I thought it was just meh. I didn't really like it. But Crypto, I will take a movie about him anytime.
Not Fantastic Four, but you get my point. Jurassic World's on track to make $1 billion, and Superman will probably do okay as well. Although even that's looking a bit shaky right now. But
actually, you know, I take it back. I didn't really like Superman, but that one actor right there, Mr. Terrific, I think that's what his name was. The guy with he would shoot the balls and stuff like that. I had never even heard of that character before. And I got to tell you, I really enjoyed him in that movie. I thought that was pretty cool. But right here, the drinker's right, guys. I mean, look, movies are just not what they used to be. And I think political correctness is what actually kind of killed it. You know, back in the 80s, it was no holds barred, man. You could go ahead, you could put whatever you want out there. And if people liked it, they liked it. And, you know, you contrast that by what we have now. And boy, if you say the wrong thing, right, or you call someone by the wrong pronoun, not trying to make it political, but it's true. Wow, man, your movie is just dunked. And so, I don't know. Mr. Terrific was awesome. I agree with you. I really thought he was a cool character. I got to look more into him.
Box office revenue isn't the same as cultural impact, and that is the big difference here. This time next year, in fact, fuck it, probably this time next month, nobody's even going to remember a single scene, character, or line of dialogue from Jurassic World Afterbirth. Shit, man, I can barely even remember it now. Nobody's going to be quoting or referencing James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn by the time it leaves theaters. They're the movie equivalent of a fast food meal, something to be consumed quickly and then forgotten about just as quickly, so that if it wasn't for the heartburn and the explosive diarrhea later in the day, you probably wouldn't be sure if you'd even eaten it. The Avatar movies are probably the peak example of all this. Each of them makes more money than a small African country, and the next one will be no different, but nobody ever talks about them. Nobody posts fan theories or recites their most famous lines or references iconic characters in other works because, well, there's nothing to reference. They're nothing but hollow spectacle, devoid of deeper meaning or substance, as pointless and empty as that hotel.
Something I never understood about the Avatar series, and I didn't play the game, and I think they have a second or third one or whatever, but in the first one, he is a Marine, and he's surrounded by his brothers and sisters from the Marine Corps. And then they give him this body. He goes out and he starts learning the ways of the aliens, or I guess we would be the aliens on that planet. And then out of nowhere, he goes to war against the Marines. And I kind of feel like maybe he should have just had a conversation with some of his bros, like, yo, maybe we're doing things wrong. You know what I mean? Instead of just jumping straight to killing them. It seemed very jarring to me. Maybe that's just because I was in the Marine Corps. I feel like they're trying to hold back too much, and it's just causing movies to be absolutely awful. Yeah, I agree with you. Movies have to be free, a lot like comedy. I think that's really been under attack as well. So stand-up comics, they can make fun of this, but they can't make fun of that. And that if you put people into that arena, you're only going to get bad results, right? Because they can't go 100%. They have to nitpick about what they have in it. And that's why we get out this regurgitated bullshit of remake after remake that are less and less or more and more forgettable than the original. And so, yeah, I don't know.
Korea with all the lights.
And yet on the flip side, I don't know how people feel about Dave Chappelle. I friggin' think he is hilarious. I've liked him since he was in Robin Hood Men in Tights back in 1990. And he goes hard, man. He goes hard, but he goes after everyone. Like, everyone gets a taste of the punishment. And I think that's what makes it so funny. He'll make fun of anyone, and that's what shows he's a true comic, and he's probably looked at the best in the industry.
On the outside, that's been sat unoccupied for 30 years. Even Avengers Endgame, arguably the single biggest movie event of all time, is nothing more than a footnote in film history at this point. Nobody talks about it anymore, except maybe to reference it as the turning point where the MCU started its downward plunge into abject shittiness. I guess part of the problem there is that we've been wowed by visual spectacle so many times now that it creates a kind of numbness in the audience. You're never really going to replicate the sheer impact of that first Star Destroyer in A New Hope, or the T-Rex attack in Jurassic Park, or the rain-soaked neon cityscapes of Blade Runner, because we've seen it all before now. It might still be impressive, but it's rarely memorable. But films are more than just bright colours on screen. The most memorable characters and moments in film history are usually just regular old people in normal places delivering lines that actually mean something because of good writing without half the universe having to explode in the backgrounds. And we're just not getting them anymore. And it's not just films. It feels like every aspect of modern culture has been weirdly dulled and toned down and homogenized. I mean, come on, you must have noticed it yourself, even if it was only subconsciously. That weird feeling of inertia, of stagnation, like we're not really growing or advancing anymore, we're just sort of continuing. Like butter scraped over too much bread, you might say. Try this. Pick any decade of the 20th century, and I reckon most people could probably identify it based on the clothes, the technology, the music, or the films. Each one had its own unique identity, its own fads and fashions and zeitgeists, from the rock and roll of the 50s to the angst and counterculture of the 70s to the rise of the internet in the 90s. But at some point, probably around the late 2000s or the early 2010s, it all seemed to slow down, and then, well, Stop. There were no definable fashions anymore. Technology became iterative instead of revolutionary. Pop music became homogenized covers of songs from a decade earlier, and the era of the remake and the reboot kicked off in Hollywood.
Oh, that movie
big
was
time.
garbage.
We stopped moving forward and we began looking backwards, and it feels like we've been stuck in that loop ever since. And quite simply, that.
Who the hell thought it was a good idea to make a new Ghostbusters and take out all of the original cast and regender them, and now they're all female Ghostbusters? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, someone approved it. They thought it would be funny. But, I mean, the Ghostbusters is such a classic. And you had to know people were going to get upset by you changing it. Why didn't we just make another one? And now we have these new Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. And, of course, it is what it is. I think Afterlife, I actually kind of like that one. But, dude, that was a big swing and a miss.
This is not good for any of us. So where's it all heading? Are we all just circling the drain of cultural oblivion? Or are we on the brink of a new golden age of enlightenment and progress? Well, for my own sanity, and yours I suspect, I want to believe in the latter. I hope that what we're seeing now is the tail end of a cultural era that's been kept on life support way beyond its natural time by corporate greed, laziness, and risk aversion. A lot of the dusty old franchises that our parents' generation...
All right, I'm about to drop an egg of knowledge on you guys. And I know you probably will think that, I need to shut the fuck up and whatever. You won't believe me, but I'm going to tell this to be true. So at one point in time, I actually wrote a script and I went out to Hollywood to pitch it. It's called the Great American Pitch Fest, and it happens in Hollywood every year during the summertime. And one of the sayings that they have in the industry when you are going to pitch a script is give me the same, only different, right? Because Hollywood is not willing to take a risk on a script from some nobody and give you money to make it or make it themselves and buy it from you. And so what you have to do is you have to tailor your script to something that already exists and then tweak it and make it a little bit different in order for them to say, okay, well, yeah, I could see that working. It's worked before. And then they go and they purchase it and they make the movie. So what ends up happening is you have all these people around the country that are extremely creative. Okay. Then they go to pitch whatever they've written, their script, their book, whatever. And these Hollywood executives say, nope, it's too different. It's too whatever. What I was told in the case of my screenplay was, it would have cost too much money to make, and I was untested, so they didn't feel comfortable doing that. And so instead, how you break into the industry is you have to write what's called a self-contained thriller, which means it takes place in like one room, and they don't have to spend as much on the set or anything like that, so they can spend more on the talent, and that's how Hollywood makes their money. So if you've ever been the type of person that says, oh, Hollywood just doesn't have any ideas, that is actually 100% incorrect. It's that they're unwilling to break from what works and try some of these lesser known or unknown people who come in and try to sell a screenplay, and instead they just want the same regurgitated thing because they know that's what sells. So it's not that they don't have the idea, it's that they're unwilling to break from it. Now, what's really funny is you start to see streaming services, or even like The Drinker, great example. So he's not running it anymore, but they have some sort of department now where they write movies and you can send something into them and they'll make it and blah, 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 blah. And I think that really worries Hollywood because they're going to be creative, where Hollywood, it's just remake after remake after remake after remake. And they kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Grew up on, and we've been clinging to like comfort blankets for decades, are reaching the end of their cultural relevance.
By the way, if you ever want to see an example of a self-contained thriller, there was a movie called Hard Candy back in like the early 2000s that Hollywood was all over that. Essentially, it took place in one room. A guy was kidnapped by a little girl and tortured by her. And but the whole movie takes place there. Another one, I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I think it's Phone Booth, where the entire thing takes place with him in a phone booth. The point of the matter is it's contained in a certain area, and so that way they can spend as little money as possible on it. In case you want to write one that's successful.
Now, mostly because of horrendous mismanagement and creative retardation, but what the fuck? Ultimately, it was gonna happen anyway, no matter what. Hollywood's own incompetence has just sped up the process. I think we're reaching that tipping point now, and maybe I was wrong at...
I wonder if Mark Hamill regrets filming that scene where he drinks the green milk. Because that scene is played in not in a good way in a lot of these videos.
Beginning, when I described the modern landscape as a cultural wasteland, maybe it's more like a cultural dam that's been holding back the flood for too long. The cracks are starting to appear, and sooner or later, it's gonna burst. And if that's the case, it'll be interesting to see what's left after the floodwaters recedes. Anyway,
true that.
That's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Go away now.
You can-
Whoop. The drinker. That guy is absolutely right. And here's the ultimate thing, guys. Is it ever going to change? Are we going to get good movies again?
My sources say...
Probably not. If I'm just being honest with you. At least not from Hollywood. It'll be one of these other studios, like I said, the Drinker Studio or something like that. But man, you know, the movies from the 80s and 90s where you remember them and you wanted to go so bad to go to the theaters and see them, they just don't exist anymore. And I do feel bad for this younger generation that they don't understand. They don't remember what it was like back then, or these movies that were around when you were a kid. Like for me, growing up in the 80s and 90s, cop movies, buddy cop movies were the thing, and they were just all over the place, like Lethal Weapon, right? Or Rush Hour is a great example. And it just, you know, they don't really exist like that anymore. And yet, if you watch those movies, they are just amazing. But that being said, let's see how Stephen He would do a movie. I love watching this guy. Now he has a new one. If Superman was Asian. All right, Steven, you've got me interested. Let's see what would happen if Superman was Asian.
My sources say it should be a weekly message from his parents over in Krypton. Search that.
Found it.
Kyle, we sent you away to Earth not because we wanted to, but because you're too dumb for Krypton. How you gonna fail math? You have X-ray vision. Just look at the other kids' answers, lah. You're too dumb to even cheat. Test scores lower than your shoe size Superman. More like mediocre, man. Average, man. Harvard reject, man. You can shoot lasers out your eyes, still need glasses. You have super speed, still late to school. You can fly, still grounded. Powered by the sun, still don't have a tan. You look like you don't touch grass. Why can't you be more like Bruce Wayne?
Damn, that dad is harsh, huh?
Man, billionaire at the age of 8. You make minimum wage in your 30s. Running around writing newspaper nobody read. Make some TikTok dances or something lah. Bruce Wayne was so successful, he had his own unpaid intern. Robin, didn't you fight him once, huh? And lost? He a regular dude with a belt. You lost to some gadget. Clark Kent, more like Clark Kent.
Hit him with a diss track?
Batman has his priorities, right? He knows the only superpower that matters is being rich. Oh, I got a silver city from an alien invasion. When you gonna get a real job? Batman's suit made of metal. You got discount spandex from Spirit Halloween.
We can't use this.
No, this is Amazon.
See, if we spread this out to the internet, people
I love him and his little bald cap right there as Lex Luthor.
will learn that he's not the perfect Superman they think he is. He got rejected from Harvard and he failed math. They're gonna hate him. This is perfect. Send it.
Yes, sir.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very sharp.
Lex, what have you done? Oh, just exposing you. No. If people find out the truth about Superman, Luther, your reputation will be ruined. You haven't seen the rest of the video, have you? Huh? Batman even has cooler villains. Bing, Joker, Mr. Freeze, who you got regular guy with no powers. Don't even have hair. I have hair. I just cut it. Head smoother than your brain. Off-brand Jeff Bezos. Bet the same day deliver himself a toupee. Hair shines brighter than your future. Lex Luthor, a billionaire. If he wanted to solve world peace, war would have been fixed tomorrow. Instead, you living his head rent-free, more dedicated than Lois.
He's actually right, though.
That's emotional damage. He doesn't even have cool fights. Poison Ivy control plan. Get Crow use Genju Tsuha. All Lex do is sit in a room and shout at his employees. Bro's a Discord mod. Silver League of Legends player. Only power up Dorito and Mountain Dew. I'm gold 1, okay? Gold 1 once. I got the once.
Already this movie is better than the Superman movie.
Genius inventor. Nanobots. Pocket dimension. Still lose to your room temperature IQ every time. He could be Tony Stark, Power Ranger, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but the only strategy he can come up with is, oh look, I have a green rock. Are you dumb? Let's loser, more like less loser.
Ooh, served.
You shouldn't have. I was gonna arrest you, but you want a hug? You want to go grab a boba? We send you to us from Korea. Oh my God, he's just Korean.
Yes, play that again.
Reload that.
Bro, I love Stephen He, man. He is so funny. Go over to his channel, leave him a like on that video. I know he'd really appreciate it. Although I got to tell you, he's doing something right for himself. 13.6 million subscribers. Stephen, you're all right. I'm going to give you a thumbs up on that. Okay, so we've got, let's see. We got another video that we're going to watch. I might try to pull up that Joy Reid thing. That being said, I'm going to get me a little bit of coffee. So we're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. And yeah, we'll see you in a minute.
The footage you are
All right, back. Got myself some tea, and I am ready to kick this bad boy off. Okay. So I think the next thing we're going to watch, I've been talking about this Joy Reid thing in Piers Morgan. They get into it. I found it to be awesome. But the actual video was like an hour long. I didn't feel like dealing with all that. So we're going to watch The Hill, and hopefully this is just the highlights. So let's see what they have to say.
Former MSNBC host Joy Reid is having a meltdown over her interview with Piers Morgan, accusing him of a race-based ambush.
Oh,
the two
there we go.
In this heated moment.
By the way, just keep that in mind. She said that he's the one doing a race-based ambush. Weird. Let's see what she actually says.
I don't think you were fired after all those years because of your skin color or because you're a black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV. That's why you got let go. Why play the race card?
First of all, I love the fact that your play the race card is your version of the race card. You literally are so fixated on trying to racialize conversations with me, Piers, that I find it actually quite charming.
You racialize more conversations in your tenure at MSNBC than any host in history.
All right, Piers, because this is your shtick, and I get that this is your shtick.
You racialize everything, Joy. Come on.
I get it, and I understand this is your shtick, Piers, and listen, game reg now.
So, by the way, you are missing like a significant amount of this video. This is like 30 minutes in. And he had actually asked her about her show, and she had been talking about how black people have a different take on things, blah, 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 blah. And so it was very racially motivated. Then, hard cut to this right here.
I get this is
it's
your
not
game.
my stick.
And the bottom line,
it was your
stick. It is your stick, and everyone knows that it is. Piers, we
people
understand
got bored
what
with
it is.
Reid says that her PR team booked her with Morgan to promote her new show. She said that Piers Morgan was not her first choice, but she did agree to do the interview. She says that his team promised a, quote, free-flowing conversation covering several topics in Joy's wheelhouse. She posted a two-part pre-buttal ahead of the interview's release. Let's watch some of that.
And let me actually start just by reminding myself just how thirsty Piers Morgan is. And you'll be forgiven for not knowing who Piers Morgan is. He won the Celebrity Apprentice with Donald Trump way back in 2008 and was considered a journalist, working at a time for a British tabloid called the Daily Mirror when the paper was implicated in a scandal for hacking the phones of famous people, though he himself denied involvement. He has become, in this current iteration of his career, a rather thirsty little troll.
Morgan clapped back at Reid on X, writing, "I interviewed Joy Reid last night. It did not go well for Joy Reid. In fact, it went so badly for her that she's already gone public about how terrible it was, and I am. Apparently, I'm obsessed with race and identity politics." Who do you root for here, Niall?
You're putting me on the spot here, Amber. So let me say a couple of things off the bat. I have met Joy Reid, I think, 2 or 3 times back when she had a weekend show preceding the
let's see.
The weekday show. I went on that a couple of times. She was all
Okay, we're just going to pause this right now, and we're probably going to watch something different. What I wanted to see was the actual back and forth between Joy Reid and Piers Morgan. This looks like it's going to be those two kind of dissecting the conversation, which I'm going to do that for you, right? Anyway, I'll try to find more on that. Maybe we'll bring it up tomorrow. But the simple fact of the matter was she accused him of being this, everything was focused on race, and that's not what he said. Not even at the beginning. He said that people just were uninterested in what she had to say. And if you've watched Joy Reid, I mean, everything about what she was saying she was a lot like Whoopi Goldberg. Everything was race related, and people are just kind of tired of that. So we'll pause that for just one moment. We're going to switch over now. So this is going to be a video that my dear friend Rebecca sent me. Please forgive the AI narration. We're going to try to make it through it. But what this is called, Psychopath Caught on Camera Carrying a Body. So Rebecca, thank you for the video. Let's give it a play and see what we got.
What we're watching is what police believe is 35-year-old Stephen Grass loading the body of 16-year-old Miranda Corset into his vehicle. They believe that he and his girlfriend, 37-year-old Michelle Brandes, met Miranda online, and after luring her to their home, they They assaulted her for several days and then killed her. Stephen then transported the victim's body to a family member's home, where her remains were dismembered and thrown into a dumpster. What led police to the couple was a witness who came forward claiming they believed the couple kidnapped and killed Miranda. At this point, Stephen was already in jail for possession of methamphetamine, so he was put into an interrogation room and interviewed by the police. His girlfriend was also brought in and put into a separate interrogation room, and she too would be interviewed by the police after they were done with Stephen.
Is it true you used to take animals to the Skyway?
Yes.
What'd you do with them?
I would kill them.
Do you feel a need to kill them?
No.
Why do you do it then?
I was stressed out.
Just killing them.
Jesus. He was stressed out, so he would kill these animals. Yeah, that is something that a psychopath serial killer would say for sure.
Really stressed out. I would kill an animal so I would not. It helped me to relieve my.
By the way, they do say that killing animals is a precursor to becoming some sort of serial killer or a murderer in general. It's like you start small, you lose all empathy for human life or animal life, and then you graduate to something bigger.
My stress and my anger so I would not hurt them.
Where would you get the animals from?
Craigslist. People give away animals on Craigslist.
Jesus, he would take these animals from Craigslist?
Pretty much. If you go to my house and do a what's the agent that they use to uncover blood, traces of blood?
Yeah.
If you put that in my house, the entire house might glow.
Because you killed that many animals on that?
God.
That was just a small taste of the craziness
He sounds
to
proud
come
of
in
it.
these two interrogations.
This was never supposed to happen. Never was supposed to happen.
What wasn't supposed to happen?
This girl was never supposed to be in this situation. This girl was never supposed to be in this situation. So I met her off the Grindr app, which is like a gay hookup site. And I don't know what a 16-year-old girl is doing on an adult hookup site. I guess it's irrelevant. She told me she was 20 at first, and then later came out afterwards that she was 16, which really it didn't mean anything to me. Her age meant nothing. There's one thing that she did to me, and that was just one thing I was trying to resolve. She stole a gold ring of mine. What about overdoses? That must be Michelle's way of trying to cover her part up in something, because there was no overdose in any. There was nothing like that was involved. So I've picked the girl up. The date, I'm not certain. All this is very recently within the last month. Okay, so I picked the girl up for a hookup on the Grindr app. I picked her up. We went home, hung out. I dropped her back off. It was fine. Nothing, no issues. 2 days passed by. She hits me up and says, "Do I want to hang out?" Okay, cool. I picked her up.
Hold that thought 1 second. All right, my apologies for that, guys. Let's move forward.
So I picked her up. We went back home. We're chilling. I bought her some food. She's a real picky eater, I guess. So I bought her a smoothie from Wawa. So my ring comes up missing. So in the process of me ordering food for her, my ring comes up missing. It was a little bit too big for my pinky, so it could slide off. If whatever, it could just slide off. And I remember when I went to get off the bed, I supported my weight on the bed to go get the doors for the food, and that's where my ring slid off at. My ring slid off on the bed. Right. So as I'm eating my food, I'm realizing my ring's not on my finger. So I'm like, I search the whole immediate area. My ring's not there. Miranda stole my ring. Miranda stole my ring. So I'm telling her, man, like, look, there's nobody else here. I know, it's nice. It's a nice ring. You might want it, but it's not yours. Just give it back. I go on with this for a whole 24 hours. And I'm telling her, like, hey, man, my fault in this is that I would not let her leave without giving me my ring back.
How did you keep her from leaving?
I just told her that she couldn't leave. I didn't restrain her. I didn't do anything to her. I just said, hey, man, just please give me my ring back.
So that also is a crime, false imprisonment. case you're curious.
You know what I'm saying?
But she wasn't free to get out and walk out the door.
I mean, if she would have tried, I don't know if I would have stopped her or not. Everything was bravado at this point in time. It's like I'm telling her and I'm hoping that I'm able to just scare her into giving me my ring back. So I called up Michelle to see if Michelle would help me get the ring back from her. Like they have a female to female connection or something, that anything I could use to try to get her to give me my ring back. So all this is on text messages as well. So I text Michelle on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, hey man, this girl over here stole my ring. Will you please help me get my ring back? So she agrees and comes over. You know, she comes over there and stuff. And the first thing she does when she gets there was looks for my ring in the house. And I'm cool with that because I just want my ring back. So the sooner I get my ring back, the sooner this can just be done. So she finds my ring, and she doesn't tell me she finds my ring. And how I know that is because she gave me my ring back after all this is said and done. This drags on for a week.
Wait, so you've got this girl in your house for an entire week?
A week.
Were you feeding her?
Yes.
Were you beating her?
I lumped her up. Yes. I hit her at first.
I lumped her up.
First, it took me a while before I put my.
Jesus. I like how, and by the way, this is a common tactic. When you have someone for a crime, especially a serious crime, a lot of the things, the ways they'll try to deflect is they'll try to change the perception on how they're the victim. So he starts off with this, oh yeah, you know, she had my ring. I am the victim in this. So naturally, you know, she kind of deserved what she took because she took my ring. It's like, what the fuck?
My hands on her. Like, I really tried everything I could possibly do to get my ring back.
Like what?
Like, pleading with her, telling her, man, like, this stuff is important to me. I just got out of prison for doing 13 years. I've just started having my own stuff for myself. This stuff means something to me, man. I just started having my own shit. It means something to me. I was not willing to take a loss on my ring when she stole it, and you can damn well get it back.
By the way, I'm willing to bet what's going through his mind is the fact that, to anyone out there that said, why didn't you call the police? Because he could have. But then the question pops up, she's 16 and she's not part of the family. What is she doing in the house? Right? So that obviously takes that option off the table. Not that he would have called the police given his background.
And I'm telling her, like, please, let's use this as a learning experience.
Did you pat her down?
Yes.
So she's wearing clothes, you patted her down, you couldn't find the ring?
I even bought a metal detector.
Well, where do you think she was hiding it?
I thought she either swallowed it or put it up inside of her, or she had it hidden somewhere else.
Okay.
I knew she had it, and she was disrespecting me and mocking me the whole time. Miranda is to me.
Miranda is.
Yeah, like I couldn't fathom, why would you steal somebody?
What was she doing to mock you?
She just like this. She said she got it from her grandma. And she said she'll be like, I'll be like, man, please give me my ring, please, man, please. She'll just be like this to me, like this. She went this. She'll like this.
Wait, you mean like she might have been shaking in fear?
No.
Because that's what you look like when you do that.
Right.
To me.
But she.
When I think of a 16-year-old girl shaking like that, that's fear.
The detectives begin to realize where Stephen's story is going. He is trying to blame everything on his girlfriend, Michelle. The only issue is,
oh, here we go.
As he's doing this, he is implicating himself as well. He's already admitted to kidnap and assault. Let's see what else he admits to.
Another important information is, I've seen Miranda on Valentine's Day. It will be able to give you a date. The first time I seen Miranda was on Valentine's Day. Michelle was upset that I chose Miranda over her on Valentine's Day. So I think that's where her motive came from. To have her spite for Miranda came from this. And
so let's talk about Miranda and the shaking.
Okay.
And so you had her in your house for how long?
It was up to a week. It was a week. It was a week.
You had her in the house a week.
For a week.
You wouldn't let her leave.
I told her
you thought that she was mocking you by shaking.
It wasn't just shaking that she would be doing. She would also be saying stuff to me.
Like what?
Like she would be saying, she was saying she never seen it, and then she said, oh, I know it's outside for a fact, it's over here outside. And then she'd say that she hadn't seen it again, and then she'd say, oh wait, I remember it's in the kitchen over here. And then she'd say it was in the bathroom over there. And then she told me it was behind the mirror over here. She led me through this, like, I don't know why somebody in this position would disrespect.
So how else did you search her?
I searched with a metal detector, and I stuck my fingers up her and up her. I'm telling you the truth.
Jesus.
I'm telling you the truth.
All right. So what?
So how many crimes do we have so far? I mean, obviously we know that he killed her. Okay, so we have that, but without counting that, just up to this point, we got the false imprisonment. We have sexual assault on a child, essentially, since she was 16. We have the assaults of just beating her, right? And then we have other sexual assaults as well. And again, I still feel like he's trying to make himself out to be the victim in this.
So she's still telling me that she's still telling me that it's over here, it's over there.
See, it's her fault because she hid the ring, right? By the way, did he not already admit that she didn't have the ring? It was this other girl that had the ring?
At one time she says that she thinks Michelle has it. When I relayed the information to Michelle come in there and beat her up. Michelle's hitting the girl harder than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting the girl with open palms and shit. Michelle's hitting her close.
Did the girl when you stuck your fingers in her, did the girl resist?
No,
she was that scared of you.
She was scared of Michelle. She was scared of Michelle.
I don't know, dude.
She's scared of me too. She's scared of me.
How can she not be scared of you?
That's right.
She's 90 pounds.
But she's still shit talking me.
Was she really?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure you weren't just imagining that?
No,
because
sir.
What has he said that was shit talking? I mean, he's said this before, but it didn't seem like he came up with anything. I think he's making that shit up.
What's she saying to shit talk you?
She's telling me that she doesn't care. I said I had rent coming up. I had 1 week left to get my rent up. She says she doesn't care. I said, you don't care if I'm going to be going on the streets? Like, you don't care about like my house, everything that I have going for me? You don't care that this is going to be lost because I'm over here focusing on you, trying to get my ring back? Yeah. And she was telling me no, she doesn't care. And then she'd do like this to me. She'd do like this. It's not a shake, it's a taunt. She would taunt me like this.
I don't know what that is.
She said she got it from her grandma.
It doesn't taunt me. I don't understand that.
Because she's not giving me my ring back, it's a taunt. You know what I'm saying?
You'd already beat her up. You said you lumped her up. You've already penetrated her. You've already basically her. A 16-year-old girl. And so you think that this 16-year-old girl who 16 is taunting you. I just don't get it. But okay, but let's keep going ahead. So then Michelle comes over and beats her up.
Michelle was already over there. Michelle was already over there for the whole time. I called Michelle immediately.
Okay. Keep going.
So where are we at?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. You've got this girl in your house. You're f***ing her. You've beat her up. You've her. You've got.
I didn't rape her. I did not rape her.
In the state of Florida, sticking this inside somebody else's body is.
Yeah, like I said, that's sexual assault.
Okay, so be it, man.
It is. I'm just telling you the letter of the law.
Okay.
You stick something else inside of somebody else's body, that's
okay.
So I'm sorry, but that's what it was.
Okay.
Whether what the intention was or not. Okay. So then Michelle comes and starts doing it with you, and how long does this go on?
This goes on for a week. This goes on for a week, man. But not the. I only searched her one time. Like if she didn't have it in there, then so be it. Now I'm waiting for her to shit it out. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm waiting for her to shit it out. Any injury that I cause her, I'm going to CVS and I'm buying her medication for it.
What kind of medication?
Whatever. She needs some sore throat medication, some.
Why would she have a sore throat?
Why what?
Did you stick something down her throat?
No.
Why would she need sore throat medication then from whatever injuries you
Michelle
caused her?
choked her. And I'm being 100 with you, man. I just told you some foul shit, man. Like I'm being 100 with you, man. I'm not trying to deflect blame on anybody else. I'm not trying to pin anything on anybody else. I own up to what I did. I'm owning up to what I did. I'm not trying to defend or deflect on anybody else, man.
All right.
Michelle has more in this than I do. And I'm the one that's telling her you can't.
An interrogation technique when you are a police officer is you separate the suspects into two different interrogation rooms, and then you get their statement from them like this, and then you can ask them at a later time, so you can kind of bounce back and forth. And one of the things you can do is just say, hey, this guy told me that you did this. But that's inconsistent with your statement. What actually happened? And what you'll slowly start to find is these two people will basically begin just going against one another. And so I guarantee, and hopefully they have it in here, we're 11 minutes in, it's 32 minutes long, Michelle's interrogation as well. And I guarantee what is going to be said is most likely going to be completely different. And so he says that he's 100% with them. But I mean, I don't know, I think I remember reading about this on the news, but this is the first time that I've seen anything about it. But I got to tell you, I don't see that. I think he is deflecting a substantial amount of what happened on Michelle, although she sounds to be at fault as well.
Even until you get my ring back. Michelle's causing all the big blows. I'm not letting anything back.
See that? Michelle's causing all the big blows. He already said he quote unquote lumped her up, but Michelle, is causing the big blows. And see, here's the interesting thing, and this is something you have to look at as a cop. Size difference between the suspect and the victim, right? So if I'm a 6'5" guy and I'm jacked, maybe I do hit someone with an open hand, but due to my size and their small size, that could cause significant damage. Whereas a girl that fights another girl, maybe they can throw punches, but it won't cause as much damage. So he can say that he didn't do anything big or he didn't intend anything big, but clearly he beat her up.
Bad enough happened to the girl that I can't just let her go home.
And it's already been established that she's 90 pounds. And look at that dude. That dude's probably at least 200 pounds, maybe a little bit more.
For a couple of days healing up. I just wanted my ring back, dude. I just wanted my ring back. That's it. Okay? Michelle's got some other shit going on. Nothing's happened to the girl to where she can't heal up in a couple of days and go home. That's on me.
That makes it okay, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? But the girl she said she had some kind of a disease where she bruised really easy.
Stephen thinks that saying the only reason I assaulted this teenager is because I wanted my ring back, as if it justifies his actions somehow. What he doesn't realize is how much the police know. They know that both Stephen and Michelle were in it together, and when they were done dismembering the body, they enjoyed a day of mini golf and eating Popeyes together.
Dude, are you kidding me?
It was more her.
They killed this girl, they dismembered her body, and then they ate Popeyes and went mini golfing the next day. Some sick people in this world.
Spite for not taking her out for Valentine's Day. As petty as it sounds, man. That's what I bring from it. So Michelle had my ring the whole time. She said she found it in my car after the fact. Pam can confirm all this.
After the fact of what?
After the fact that she had died. Michelle had killed the girl, man. Michelle didn't want whatever they were whispering to come out. I think the girl gave Michelle her cell phone information to be able to access her cell phone as well. I don't believe Michelle would have thrown the girl's iPhone down the drain.
So what I thought I just heard him say was the ring was actually found in the car and that he didn't lose it and this girl didn't take the ring, is what I understood from that.
I think she has that girl's cell phone somewhere right now. She has it.
When did she die?
She died on the 7th day. Telling my mom, sending the pictures of them lumped up, and I'm like, man, look, man, like she stole my ring, man. She stole my ring. She's not giving it back. I need my ring back. I can't possibly move forward without my ring. Like I just could not take an L on my ring like that. I just couldn't.
Is it true you used to take animals to the Skyway?
Yes.
What'd you do with them?
I would kill them.
Do you feel a need to kill them?
No.
Why did you do it then?
I was stressed out.
Does killing them give you stress relief?
Stressed out. I would kill an animal so I would not. It helped me to relieve my stress and my anger so I would not hurt them.
How could you kill a poor defenseless animal? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's the progression to becoming like a killer or a serial killer. They start out with what they perceive to be smaller and easier to kill that no one goes and looks for, in this case, animals. And I'm surprised he admitted to it. But man, I don't understand a type of person that commit murder in general, but like I see those ASPCA commercials with all the animals that are, hungry and stuff like that. Breaks my heart every single time.
Where would you get the animals from?
Craigslist. People give away animals on Craigslist.
Any kind of animal?
Pretty much. from like a guinea pig, a rabbit, dog, cat.
What do? You throw them off the Skyway when you're done with them?
The Skyway is another one of Michelle's things.
Do you see that? You see how he deflects to her again trying to shift the blame?
I wouldn't take it to the Skyway. I would take it to the Skyway. I would take it. If you go to my house and do a what's the agent that they use to uncover blood, traces of blood?
Yeah.
If you put that in my house, the entire house might glow.
Because you put that many animals in there?
Yes, sir.
And then what do you do with the carcasses?
Throw them in the dumpster.
Has killing animals like that been something you've always done, or
No,
what is it?
It just recently started.
How many animals do you think you've killed?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say, man. A lot.
Yeah.
I see. It seems like I'm a bad guy right now.
Yeah, no shit.
It seems like I'm a bad guy.
I'm not
a bad guy like that. Like I've just been pushed.
It's not for me to judge.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
What was the purpose of that?
There you go, guys. Not a bad guy. He just kills an innumerable amount of animals and then dismembers a girl and puts her in a dumpster and has Popeyes. Right?
I'm just curious.
The purpose was to get sympathy for me. Man. So if I was trying to get them to buy me another ring, and then everything would just be good. I just wanted a ring. I didn't want to take a loss on the ring.
Your whole thing was, I want my ring back, no matter what it was.
Not no matter what, but I was going to go through, and at least make an effort to try to get back.
And why was that so sentimental to you?
Because I never had my whole life. I never had anything. I went to prison when I was 16 years old, and I got out when I was 27. So I'm just starting to learn to live my life and have things of my own. And I don't think it's right for somebody to be able to come into your house and steal from you and be able to walk out of there.
Sort of like you went to prison for.
That was for burglaries, on burglaries and stuff like that.
Man, that cop just called him out, right? He says he doesn't think it's right that someone can just walk into another person's house and take something and walk out, and yet he was in prison for burglary. What a fucking dumbass.
Going into somebody's house and taking shit.
That's another thing that I told her too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you held a person against their will, penetrated them, and eventually killed them.
I didn't kill her.
Okay, well
I didn't kill her.
You were complicit to her killing if that person did it.
Fair.
But you did. So you contributed to a person's death for doing what you got caught doing when you were 16.
She was never supposed to die. Ever. Ever.
Dude,
She never was supposed to pass, man. She wasn't even supposed to come close to it. If anything, like I was telling the whole time, man, like there's nothing that she can't heal up from after a couple days and go home was my intention. And the whole other time I'm trying to get other people to just replace it for me so I can we can be done with it. So the shitty part is that the girl came in my house and stole her.
Dude, just to think of how this guy processes information is just fucking scary. I can't imagine being in this guy's head. I mean, just to think, oh yeah, I got this girl and I'm just going to rough her up over a few days, but she'll heal. It's no big deal. It's fine. It's fine. Dude, what the hell?
Ring. Other came in my house and stole the ring from her. So
It sounds like what you're telling me is she never stole the ring.
She stole it, and Michelle stole it from her. Wherever she put it at, Michelle found it. I fully accept what's to come for this, okay? I just want to see everybody else that was involved get theirs as well. I mean, this girl was never supposed to die, ever. She was never supposed to die, ever.
Stephen was charged with multiple crimes, including kidnapping and first-degree murder. He was then sent back to the county jail to await his day in court. Next door, his girlfriend Michelle is getting ready to be interviewed by the police.
Here we go. Let's see what Michelle has to say.
You're gonna once you get all of this off your chest, you're gonna feel better. So, tell us from the very beginning what happened.
I've known Stephen since I was 17 years old. I dated his older brother. He's not your normal type of person. Like, he's not.
Shit.
He's not your normal type of person. Everything was different. Everything was different at the beginning. Everything was so good. Everything was great. I allowed so much that I would have never allowed with anybody else. He felt like the world owed him because of all the time that he did. So he would have with as many people as he could. There were times where he would make me clean up real quick because he was going to go pick up a girl. And I would literally have to just sit there while he would have somebody else and then come back to me like everything was just fine and normal and everything was okay because he loved me. Everything was fine. I didn't understand. Out of nowhere, he says he's going to pick up another girl on Valentine's Day. I'm like, okay, are you serious? Yeah, okay. A lot of the times I would wait outside.
Why did she stay?
Or I didn't even want to be in the house whenever this happened because it hurt. It hurt every time. I was outside this time. It was like 4 or 5 hours that he spent with her. I had to pee. Like, I wanted to come back home. I wanted to get back inside. And so I went into the bathroom and I said, let me know when you leave, because I was so hurt. I didn't even want to see her. I didn't want to look at her because part of me blamed her for
ruining your Valentine's Day.
Ruining my Valentine's Day. But, he always comes back to me, though. He always comes back to me, and is it that what matters that he comes back to me? No, I know better. And next thing I know, he messages me on Facebook saying, this bitch stole my ring. I believed him, initially, over the phone, that the girl stole his ring. He asked me to come over to help get the ring back. I'm thinking,
Okay, so they both said that.
Okay, verbal, maybe some intimidation. I didn't know anything was gonna happen. I get there, she's fine. She's normal, she's scared. But something was off. Something was off. I could tell something was off. Because he's not acting like he normally would. He's not acting like... He's not being physical or aggressive or like how he normally be with me. Like, he would have already yoked us up and he would have already been physical. The girl looks like she's pretending to be scared. And I couldn't understand. Like, I couldn't put my finger on it, so I didn't do anything.
So just in that statement right there, he would have yoked us up. I mean, that tells me that there was probably some significant domestic violence. And, I see stuff like this. She's still complicit, no matter what. I'm glad she got charged. But, man, how some of these girls get into these situations where the domestic violence they call it the cycle of domestic violence. And they get caught up in the cycle, and before you know it, they are like so in with their abuser that it's hard to extract them and get them out. And so we would run calls for service all the time with ladies that would be in a domestic violence situation, and we would do everything we could to get them out and bring them to Tessa, which is a place that helps abused and battered women. It gets them into a different living situation, helps them get a job and things like that. And yet we would offer it to them. We would do everything we could. And at the end of the day, at least from my experience, most of them would be like, no, I'm staying here. I'm fine. And they would just fall back into it. And the unfortunate thing is it tends to get more and more aggressive. So if you meet someone that's in domestic violence initially, and they stay in that relationship the next time you run a call for service, because it's never over, right? You're going to be back if it's domestic violence. Next time you're out there, maybe it's worse. Last time it was a black eye. This time it's a broken bone. And where that conclusion ultimately leads is either they find a way to split, or typically they could end up dead, right? And it's not like there's no guaranteed time frame on it. But a lot of people who are involved in domestic violence situations, there is an outcome where they end up dead, and it's really unfortunate.
I didn't even say anything to her. I was just like, I'm trying to figure out what is going on.
But again, obviously, she is complicit in this whole murdering thing.
What's happening right now? Because something doesn't seem right. Something doesn't seem right. And I was like, I was even making, because he was just asking, where the f*** is my ring? Where the f*** is my ring? Did you eat it? Did you stuff it up your like, where is my ring? I was like, look, I'll look around the house to see if I can find it. But she has it. He's convinced she has it. I said, okay. So I stopped looking.
Michelle claims that after she couldn't find his ring, she left. She returned 2 days later and found that not only was Miranda still there, but she looked like she had been attacked. While she tells her story, Michelle appears very traumatized, so much so that it appears to be an act.
Her head is swollen. She's got 2 black eyes. Man.
That was 2 days after.
That was 2 days
after Valentine's.
We kept her. Oh my God, he kept her for like 7 days. He kept her for a week. From the 15th, he kept her for a week. Oh my God. He beat me and her side by side because I said I believed her that she didn't have the ring. The way that I was able to get him to stop beating me was if I agreed to help beat her. So yeah, I hit her. I hit her a couple times. A few times. I can't tell you. I hit her.
Close fist, a smack.
Close fists. Close fist. She didn't make a sound. She kept eating it like there was an agreement, like they had an agreement, like something at the end. He said that she wasn't supposed to die, and I have a recording where I told him, I said, I figured it out. This was your fantasy. You played out your real life fantasy. Like, you wanted this to happen. Like, he's sick. I know he's sick. I know he's sick. And he said, yep, good job. I can't believe this is happening. This is my real life. Like, this is my real life. Like, I helped him. He made me help him. He fucking made me help him. He would give me these looks, and I know what those looks mean. I know what those looks mean.
Did you feel like he was going to hurt you if you didn't do what he said?
Yes. You should have seen the look on his face. That's like when he was telling me, go ahead, it's your turn. You make her give me my ring back. You get my ring back from her. And I wanted him to be pleased with me and not hurt me. I wanted him not to hurt me, and I wanted to do whatever he said he wanted me to do so that I could walk away. I just wanted to walk away. I just wanted to leave. He wouldn't let me leave. He wanted me to help. He needed my help. I had no choice.
Even though Michelle claims to have been forced to do what she did, police believe that not only was she a willing participant, she wanted to kill her after seeing Stephen with her. They believe that she could have stolen his ring, knowing he would blame her, and she used that as an opportunity to kill her.
And it lasted like 2 or 3 days.
What prevented you from reaching out to us?
Him.
Did you ever leave that at that point?
I couldn't. Once I saw her, no, I did leave. I left to go to Walmart. And grab some things for the house and for her because he wanted to take care of her. You don't know him. You don't know him. I have bruises all along my ribs right now. I have knots on the side of my head. This was him elbowing me. This was him straight punching me in my head. All this so that I wouldn't say anything.
It's very possible that the bruises on Michelle are not from Stephen, and she put them there to further prove her story.
He wanted to take care of her.
And that's actually a pretty common thing that you'll see, especially in domestic violence incidents. So it's a really common thing where, I hate to say it's common, but from my experience, it is very common, where you'll have a couple get in a fight, and then the woman believes, she gets upset, maybe the guy was cheating or whatever, and so she'll push the guy or hit him or do whatever, and then call the cops to have him arrested, and then they'll end up attacking themselves and putting bruises on themselves. What's really unfortunate is from my experience, now, by the way, if and when that happens, in the past, when I've encountered those situations that I could definitively prove that one of the participants, either male or female, hurt themselves, I arrested that person because it's false reporting, right? And they're trying to get this other person charged for a crime that they didn't commit. But what's really unfortunate is then you take away, the struggle or the plight of some of these people who actually go through domestic violence incidents. But I can remember a situation at a hotel room where boyfriend and girlfriend got into a fight, and they started yelling at each other, and the woman ended up hitting herself and smacking herself and even clawed down the side of her face. But what was funny is you looked at the claw marks and you could tell that the only way they could have been caused was by the nails that she had. The guy didn't have any way to claw her in that manner, and she didn't think about that. And so I don't know. It is very possible that this girl ended up hitting herself. And especially, by the way, the other thing that cops can do is they can measure, like if you have a lump right here, they can figure out the point of impact and see how it develops to see if it's a self-inflicted wound. So
to clean up her wounds, got her.
I mean, obviously she's trying to cover because she is complicit in this young girl's murder.
And just, it didn't make sense to me. It was like, and he kept her.
Did that bother you?
I'm sorry, what?
He kept her, like
after she'd been beat.
Yeah, and she liked it. He said, "Thank you for giving me everything that I wanted." And it didn't make, why would you be thanking her? And I'm telling you, like, there was some sort of agreement prior to.
I really want you guys to pay attention to her hands. Her hands, she appears, when you're shaking, you can't really control it, and it's very fine movement where you're shaking. Hers actually looks like she's trying to make, it's like very jerky, like she's trying to make her hand shake. And there's a distinct difference. And what you have to understand is, I'm sure these two are very qualified law enforcement officers, but any cop that's been on the street for 5-10 years, I mean, dude, it's pretty apparent. You can tell the difference between someone that's just very shaking, because of the situation, and someone that's trying to do something like this.
And she like, I don't understand. I don't get.
See, look, her hand will not be shaking for a moment. That's not how the human body works. And then all of a sudden it starts shaking again.
I don't understand. But there had to have been. Why else? Why else would you be thanking her? And why else would she be willingly doing, like, she was quiet. She didn't scream. She was not tied up. So she could have left at any time. We went to sleep. She could have gone, she could have left. There was a time I was the last one to wake up, and they're sitting there talking like a normal conversation. She could have left at any time. She never even tried to leave.
This part of the story doesn't make much sense. Why would a victim stay if they had the option to leave? We can only assume that Michelle was paranoid and delusional from the meth she was using, or she is lying. Stephen also mentioned something about
that's not entirely true. I mean, if she could leave, maybe she would take the opportunity, but there's always the chance that maybe she was afraid that if she left, it would end up even worse. Again, it's hard for us, here we are, we're outside of that situation. So they call it Monday morning quarterback, where we say, well, they should have done this, they should have done this. But when you're in the situation where you've essentially, you're false imprisoned, you can't get out, they've been tuning you up for days on end, you've been sexually assaulted. I mean, what goes through your mind, So she says that she was free to leave. I don't know that that's the case. Could she have escaped? Maybe, but we don't know that for certain. So her saying, oh, she could have left at any time, clearly that's not the case, because it contradicts what the other guy said.
The two girls whispering and plotting against him. So it could be they were both so methed up. They created these scenarios in their heads.
I didn't realize how much in love she was with him as well until after all of this, and she walked in on him and I having sex, and she caught an attitude, and it was like, hold on, but we've been dating, so what's the difference now? Like, that's when I realized that she was still in love with him. She had his back, she was on his side, and they were working against me. I didn't know.
So, side effect of meth, one of the things that you will see from a lot of meth addicts, paranoia. And a lot of times, if you are a meth addict after a certain period of time, or for over an extended period of time, I should say, schizophrenia can be a byproduct, to where you start to have hallucinations, or you start to, again, you feel that paranoid feeling of people are working against you. That is something that we see from meth addicts.
But I can connect dots. I'm stupid for falling in love with him, but I'm not stupid. Generally, I'm not a stupid person. Generally, I'm not a stupid person. Generally, I'm not stupid. Okay, so obviously, she knows him quite better than me. And the only thing that I can think of that's logical to me is that there was some sort of plan from the very beginning, or close to the beginning, after he made me fall in love. Because he doesn't love me.
So go back to the day that Miranda died. Tell me what happened.
He started off with open hand.
What day was this, by the way?
I don't know. The 23rd, I'm assuming. The 23rd of February.
Okay.
Leading up to the 23rd, he gradually became more aggressive. He went from open hand, just the face, the head, to then the body, to closed fist.
Michelle spends the next 30 minutes going through horrifying details leading up to Miranda's death. For obvious reasons, I can't show too much of that here on YouTube.
So, Miranda's dead.
Miranda's dead.
What happens next?
He can't stay there anymore because that's where it happens. We need to go somewhere else. He says, Mom, your mom's still in Puerto Rico, right? Yeah. Can't we just go to your house? Just for somewhere safe to go? I guess, yeah. Go to my house. So we go to my mom's house.
The body was brought to Michelle's mother's home, where it was dismembered and disposed of in a dumpster.
They did that at the mom's house? Holy crap.
He had a the whole time. He was turned on, and I even said something about it, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, when it was evident. And me not knowing what was going on, my pure raw reaction was part of it too. I had never smoked meth until I got with him. I smoked meth.
Yeah, meth. Not even once. I think that used to be the saying about it. Never do that, or obviously any drugs. But meth and heroin, boy, they get their hooks in you. Holy crap.
She had nothing to do with maybe potentially taking the ring, hiding it.
Oh, here we go.
To blame her because you hate her so much.
No, I don't even know the girl. I don't even know the girl to hate her. Was I hurt? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But how many times, how many other girls has he hurt me with before? It hurt me more the fact that he didn't get me anything back.
Because he got him a gift.
He got him a gift. He didn't get me nothing back. I kind of already initially knew that's how it was going to be, but still, that hurt more than anything because, again, he feels the world owes him, so he is trying to make up for the 11 years he was already in prison for by getting as much pussy as he possibly can.
For just a moment, you will see Michelle act like her normal self. When the detectives ask her why she didn't tell Steven she thought she saw his ring on the top shelf in his home.
I did.
When you left and you sent him a text message?
Yeah.
Why not say it there when you saw it?
Because he wasn't going for it.
What do you mean? If you have a ring and you show him...
He wasn't. I couldn't get to it. How the fuck am I supposed to get to it? I did.
You said you didn't.
He moved the pillow. He moved the fucking pillow and put it and looked and said it's not up there and put it back. I swore I saw a gold thing up there. Like, I did tell him.
Okay. You've been so great with us, and we greatly appreciate you being super cooperative with this. We're trying to do what we can for Miranda. Would you be willing to provide your DNA sample to us? Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know the girl. I don't even know the girl to hate her. Was I hurt? Absolutely.
your DNA sample to us. Okay.
As of the making of this video, both Michelle and Stephen have been charged with first-degree murder, but have not been convicted of their crimes. There are a few theories as to why this occurred, the main one being Stephen always fantasized about kidnapping, dominating, and eventually killing a female. Michelle was obsessed with him and would do anything for him, even let him hook up with other females while she waited outside. The theory is that she not only participated, but also encouraged Stephen, hoping that it would bring them closer together. They also believe that both of them are using large amounts of meth and didn't sleep for a week. What are your thoughts on this theory? Please share them in the comments below.
That was a terrible video. I mean, the video itself, obviously they put it together. That's not anything against Red Tree Crime, and I'll give them a thumbs up on it. But just the crime in general, like, holy crap. Even as a cop, I still look at stuff like this and I wonder how people like that can exist. You know, I could never imagine me or anyone I know being involved in something like that, or anyone that being that evil. But God, takes me by surprise every time. I don't know. Well, guys, it has been fun chilling with you today. I hope you've enjoyed some of these videos. We'll have more tomorrow. 4 p.m. hopefully. We'll see if we can get TikTok up and running. Survey says probably not, because it is literally the bane of my existence. But I will do everything I can for you TikTokers out there. And aside from that, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. All right, take care.